Ready for our wine hour?
You're good.
For 30 minutes now, Jackie.
Yes, as long as you need.
Welcome to DTCA, you guys, Direct to Consumer Marketing Wine Hour, where we're going to share one of our main anchor offer. And we're hopefully going to help pair and give a little education to your tasting today. And I'm actually excited because we have we have someone that's coming in here to share, and he has a love of wine as well. So I'm super excited to see what he has to offer. But first off, I want to introduce our MC, Miss Jacqualyn Bellavia. We love her. She has a passion for wine as well. It's in her blood, like we all Italians say. So we're super excited to have you on, Jackie. So go ahead and take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Tanya. I am going to apologize in advance for my voice. I have a little bit of bronchitis, but we'll see how squeaky I am today. But welcome, everybody. We do this every Saturday morning. We absolutely love the wine, Saturday wine tasting, 30 minutes, but we get it done. And so for those of you, if this is your first time, sit back and relax and learn a little bit and get some education about our wine. Have a little bit of fun. We do this every Saturday, same time, same channel. But today we have a very special guest. But before I introduce this sweetheart of mine, I want to give a blessing to the lady that was supposed to be on here today. She had knee replacement surgery, so we want to give a shout out to her and hopefully that she will heal quickly. And her name, and I'm going to botch this up because I knew I had it. It's I had it right there, Tanya. I even sent it to you. I'm so embarrassed.
Paulette?
Yes, Paulette, bless her heart. And she's doing well, but she is convalescing. So we're going to feature her another time. So wish you well. And but today, this guy I absolutely love. He's like a son to me. Every time I'm around him, I feel like I'm around my son, Joey. And so I call him up and I don't know, he's somewhere in the mountains somewhere. And I'm like, hey, buddy, I need help. And he's like, what do you need now? And I'm like, I need you to cook. He's like, okay, I got it. So he rearranged his whole birthday schedule. His birthday was yesterday. So we're going to sing happy birthday to him in a minute. But anyway, he stepped up and he made it happen. And he is my very dear friend. He's an MSI here. He's a delight to be around. Shawn Flaming, take it away, my baby.
All right. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. Hopefully my internet's all right. Yeah, so I'm at my dad's and had a great birthday dinner last night. And I'm actually really excited to do this because when Jackie asked me, I was trying to think of what I could do. It's, it was 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. on the West Coast. So drinking wine at 9 a.m., I'd rather have a Bloody Mary or something, but so.
Man, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right. Yeah. So, and Tanya's right. I do have a passion for wine. I love wine. So really, honestly, I could start my wine tastings at 9 a.m. and be all right with that. But I chose a sparkling wine because sparkling wines go very well with breakfast or brunch, if you want to say. And so I chose a sparkling wine. But I don't know if you can see over here, I have a line of some of our other wines from our wine club. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about our wine club real quick. It's awesome to start off with. I get 4 wines delivered to my door every month. You can actually choose to get 4, 6, or 12 wines delivered every month. I have a hard time finishing 12 wines every month. So I stuck with the 4. I have a lot of wine at home and I love it. The other thing that's great is that you can actually refer people to this and get your wines for free. So the best part about this wine that's sitting in front of me is that it was free. So I paid shipping, come on, you can't beat that, right? So you can refer 1, 2, or 3, and depending on how many people you've referred, you're going to either get, a free month every 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, or every month it's going to be free. So, which is awesome. You can't beat that, right? Free wine always tastes better. The other part of this is these are fine wines. They're boutique wines. You can only get them in our wine club. And they're honestly, I've had a lot of wine, and these are some of the best wines I've ever had. And then if you become, you got 3 levels to choose from in the wine club. And if you become a Grand Cru, you actually get some of the better wines, that like even better than the best wine that I've had. Right. So, definitely, if that sounds interesting to you, get with the person that brought you here, and if anything, try it for a month. You can't go wrong, right? So I did a wine unboxing, and I'm just going to show you a couple of our wines here, and then I'm going to go into our sparkling, which is actually, I'm not a sparkling person. I got some stuff going on, but this is amazing. So just going to start off here, and I'll start with the whites first. This is a 2016 Sauvignon Blanc, and gonna go great, honestly, with most foods, but gonna go good with like chicken. This goes good on a nice sunny day out on the patio. Chill it, and it's gonna be perfect. Then we have a Parables in White. This is a blend of let's see if I can get this right. Viognier and Chenin Blanc, I believe. It's Parables in White, and very smooth. Again, going to be a good taster without food, but if you want to put it with some food, you're going to want some like savory foods. Going to be very, very good. The next we have this one. This is called the Nile Eddy. It's a Pinot Noir. So getting into the reds, Pinot Noir is going to be one of the lightest wines, red wines that you're going to get, right? So honestly, again, going to be good by itself, but it's going to go with some of the lighter meats. Chicken, it could even go with fish, pork, like a lamb chop or a pork chop, something like that. Very good. But I love this. I love the labels in our wine club, because the labels have great something about the person that's in our wine club. This person is in our wine club, Nile Eddy, and he actually won his own bottle of wine, right? So I mean, that's a dream of mine, right? So that's that. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is a Malbec. I used to say Malbec was my favorite red wine. Now I've gotten more into wine, so every bottle of wine is my favorite wine, right? So this is the Deanna Young. Again, she's actually she's actually part of my team. So she got her own bottle of wine. This is a Malbec. Amazing. It's actually a little bit different than because all of our wines are from Napa and Sonoma Valley. I don't know if I said that. But you get it like an Argentinian Malbec. It's going to be it's going to be more earthy. But this one, very fruit forward, plummy, like delicious. Man, it hits the spot for sure. And you're going to go with some darker meats, right? All right. So now we're going to talk about sparkling wines. So, man, wine. The reason I love wine is there's so much information about it, right? You can talk all day about it, but I'm going to go into the sparkling wine. First thing is the sparkling wines, the bottle, right? If you take this bottle and this bottle, a lot different, right? Sparkling wines have to be in bigger bottles, bigger, thicker glass, right? And the reason is because they got pressure inside of them. So they build up those bubbles, they build up that O2, and they got to be a little bit thicker glass, right? The next thing is in a little while, I'm going to talk about the history of sparkling wine. It's pretty, there's a lot of, I don't know, theories out there about sparkling wine, but it comes from like anywhere from the 16th century to like the 17th century, somewhere around there. But I'm gonna show you how to open this, and hopefully I can do this all right. It lasted a car trip, so hopefully it's not too shooken up. It's been sitting for a
See
day.
how good you are, buddy.
But yeah, let's see this. So a lot of people like to, go like this, boom, and shoot off the cork. Really, when you're opening a sparkling wine, you want to, take off the top here. I should have done this beforehand so you don't have to wait for me, but all right. So then it's going to have, you can see how much pressure is in here because it not only has the cork, but it's got this like metal thing that holds it down, right? So you're going to undo that. And when you're undoing that, you want to keep your hand over because like I said, there's a lot of pressure. So you're going to get that metal piece, open so you can get the thing. And then honestly, I like to use a towel, just in case you don't do it properly. And I got a computer sitting here. So I'm going to put over here, but I'm going to turn the bottle. All right. So, and I'm going to just let the cork do its thing. And with a towel over, I can't really see. So I don't know how it's doing. It's not doing much, actually. I think I'm turning the metal piece. All right. Here it comes. So that's not too bad. All right, here come the bubbles. No, yeah, nice. Very, very nice. All right, that's how you do it without like all over the place. But sometimes you're partying and stuff can get fun, right? So the next thing is the cork. All right, the cork. I actually found this out a couple of years ago, but the cork is very big. It actually starts out like almost 3 times the size of this. Right. So, and they use a machine, they get it inside the bottle, they put the metal piece over and keep it there. And then obviously it forms like that, but really it starts out like a cylinder, right? And it's almost 3 times the size compared to a regular bottle where it's just a little bit bigger. So, all right. So now you got the sparkling wine open, right? So now talk about the glass. This is a fancy glass, right? Fancy. You don't need anything fancy. All you need is a flute, right? They also make a Tanya, help me out here. There's what's it called?
Saucer.
Oh, a saucer, a champagne saucer.
Yes,
all right. There's two types of champagne glasses. So a champagne saucer, which kind of looks like a margarita glass, honestly, but not as deep, right? And then you got a flute. Yeah, and what's really cool about a flute is they actually have at the bottom of them. So when you pour champagne or sparkling wine, you'll see bubbles coming up, right? They actually have a flaw in the glass, but the flaw is put there on purpose. And what that does is it creates the bubble. It makes it so the bubbles are always rising so you can see them. I'll go into how sparkling wine's made in a little bit, but that's how the bubbles are made. So now I'm going to pour it, and every time you're pouring a glass of wine, every time you're whether it be sparkling or one of the other ones, you want to be using your eyes and your sniffer, right? So it's kind of all in one, right? So I'm going to look at the color of this as I pour. And I'm not going to pour a full glass, but oh yeah, it's got a lot of great bubbles in it, and yeah, see, I didn't pour a full glass. It doesn't need to be all the way to the top, unless you really want to get into it. But you're looking at the bubbles, you're looking at the color, you're looking at any floaties in it, no floaties, but this has got a great color for champagne or sparkling wine, right? So now I'm going to get into sniffing it. I want to smell it. I want to see what I'm getting myself into, right? So, oh wow. Yeah, so the way sparkling wine is made, it's going to have some like yeasty smells, right? Because of the way it's made. You can't get away from that with sparkling wine because it's just the process of how it's made. So, but it's very good. This is very full smelling. I'm smelling maybe like I don't know, peaches or pears or something. Pears maybe, like stone fruits, I think. Peaches maybe, yeah. All right, so gotten that. Now I'm gonna go into tasting. And for tasting, I didn't know what kind of foods to make or for breakfast, and so my daughter came up with she's right here. We have some pancakes. She wanted to do healthy pancakes, so it's got banana, oat flour,
milk.
Milk. We did cashew milk for this to make it a little bit more creamier, and eggs, right? So the nice thing about this, so for sparkling wine, you're gonna want some fresh fruits. You're gonna want, bananas are gonna go great with this. I think the pancakes are really gonna go great. We got strawberries and whipped cream even on these things, so that I'm excited about that. The nice thing about sparkling wine is really it's gonna go with most of your breakfast foods. All right, you're gonna have it. That's why you don't see any orange juice in this, but that's why some people put orange juice in and have mimosas, and then they have big old brunch breakfast, things like that. But I have that. I also have an omelet here. I don't know if you can see it. It's not very pretty anymore, but I don't know if you can see that plate. It's got some good stuff on it. So I got an omelet with some spinach and feta cheese in it. And is there anything else? I think that's it. Yeah. So, and obviously egg.
Bacon.
And then I got a bacon. This isn't any old ordinary bacon. This is a raspberry chipotle bacon. So this is going to go very well. Spicy foods. A little bit about that. Spicy foods you want to be very careful with when you're drinking wines. Spicy food really doesn't go good with red wines. You're gonna want like your real light wines. So your Sauvignon Blancs, the sparkling wines are gonna go really well with that. The tannins are going to be very bad with spicy food, right? You don't want that. All right. Just trust me. I mean, if you want to go try it, go for it, but trust me on that. All right. Okay, so now going into tasting. 2 ways to do this. You want to taste your wine first. Don't eat your food before you taste your wine. Taste your wine. And I didn't put any orange juice, so I want to taste this wine. I want to really get the experience of this wine. So oh man. It only gets better with age too. Wow, that's super good. Yeah, now I know I'm not supposed to drink that, my wife said, but I'm doing it anyways. All right, so very good, very fresh. I took it out of the refrigerator about a half an hour before, so it kind of cooled a little bit down, but it's still cold. Got some great flavors, a lot of different flavors actually. I'm really feeling like the fruits, the stone fruits, maybe some like green apple in it. Most sparkling wines are either going to be made with a Pinot Noir grape or a Chardonnay grape. All right. Most of them. There are a few out there that are made with a couple different other grapes, but most of them are made with those two. That's like the basic ones, right? And I'm going to take a stab. I think I've been told this before, but I believe ours is made with Pinot Noir. Is that correct, Tanya? It is, yeah. Okay, yes. Now,
sorry.
You're probably asking yourself, but Pinot Noir is a red grape. Well, how is that possible? All right, so now we're really digging into the weeds here. So what they do is they don't put the grapes all in a vat and then squish them. What they do is they put them above and they gently press them, right? So gently, because sparkling wine, that's for fine dining, fine drinking, right? So you gently press, be very gentle, and the juices actually run into a separate tank, right? And the reason for that is because the skin is actually what creates the color of the wine. All right. So if it's not ever touching the skin, it's not going to turn red, right? So you have this beautiful thing. So it's a Pinot Noir grape, but it's white wine, right? Now obviously you can make a sparkling that's red or rosé, whatever. But this one is not. So, all right. So let's see, where am I at? We tasted the wine, right? Got all the flavors. Normally you would swish, right? Sparkling wine, you don't really want to swish a whole lot because it's bubbly. But you still want it to touch your mouth. You still want to get it all up in your mouth there, right? So then now I'm going to taste my food separate, right? So I'm going to start off with the pancake. So my pancake, it's weird talking with my mouth full. I'm not supposed to do that. But my pancake, it's got some banana flavors. I got some strawberry flavors going on here, even a little sweet flavor. So very good. So now what I want to do is I want to take another bite, and then I also want to drink a little wine. All right. Now there's no like absolute scientific way of doing this. I've always asked the question, like, when do I actually take the drink? Do it whenever you want, enjoy yourself. But I want to taste the food and the wine together, because what's going to happen is it's going to chemically mix together and create new flavors that we haven't tasted yet. So let's try that.
It's like ratatouille.
Yeah. Okay, this is very interesting. So this wine actually really brings out the flavor in the food, which is awesome. The strawberries, I don't know if they're fresh or like very fresh. I don't know if it's season for strawberry quite yet, but having them by themselves, they were a little blandish, but man, having this together really kicks up the taste flavor in the strawberry. So check that out. You'll want to check that out.
There's a reason why strawberries are paired with champagne, Shawn. They're meant to go together, guys. Just so you're aware. It is
that's why I picked them. So you could even do this, drop it in there, right?
Yes.
But
a lot of people.
Yeah.
You'll
see that a lot.
It does change the flavor of your champagne, though, guys. So if you want to pair it and taste it like Shawn's doing, you want to do it his way. His way is the proper way.
Yeah. And then, and honestly, you could have a glass like this, and then your next glass,
yes,
boom, drop a strawberry in it.
It's a great finish to a meal. That's what the Italians do. It's a great finish to a meal, fruit and wine. So that's how we end the meal. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so what's crazy? So she said Italians, right? So everybody drinks wine differently. In France or in the US, you would have this when you walked into a party, right? It'd be like a starter, right? But then some places you would have this for the end. In Portugal, you wouldn't have this. You'd have, port or something, right? So like a sweet wine. But yeah, so that's what I love about wine. It's so different everywhere. Can you guys see me? The sun is super bright. Anyway. All right, so moving on, the spinach and the feta and the egg, that's going to give another flavor, right? And then you got the bacon. I'm actually kind of I'm going to skip to this one because I'm kind of excited about this one. Oh wow, how do you taste raspberry with bacon? That's crazy. Wow, that's very good. And it's not really spicy. It's got a little
heat. It's
almost got a little smoky chipotle taste, but not a spice, right? Or not hot, spicy. Let's taste with the wine. Okay. So it absolutely changes the taste of the wine. I don't get the fruit anymore. I'm getting more of the like bread flavor.
Interesting.
The oaky flavor. Yeah, it's really changes. It's so weird. Oh, I love it. It's great. Okay. So that's why I love this wine. Now, with sparkling wine, there's a couple things about it. A lot of times, I don't think ours has dates on it. Okay, so the vintage. Let's talk about the vintage of a wine. Most wines have a vintage, right? They got a, this one's a 2016. I think this one's a 2021. Yeah, 2021. So most wines have vintage. Sparkling wine, most of them do not have vintage. And the reason, there's a couple reasons for that. So the first reason is that they'll use the same wine and they'll actually blend it from years. So they'll put a bunch of different years in with the blending of the wine, right? So that's number one. So if you don't have a date, it's blended. The other thing is when they're doing the fermentation, it's got a 2 fermentation process, right? So it ferments in the vat, and then they put it into the bottles, and then it ferments for another like 12 months or something like that. I think it's 9 to 12 months. And in that process, they actually lay the bottles on the side, and there's yeast and sugar inside of there, and the yeast eats the sugar, and that's creating the bubbles, right? So they actually don't put it just on the side, right? They'll actually put it at an angle. It'll be about there. All right. So what that's doing is all that yeast is coming down towards the stem of the bottle. Okay. So then once to get all of that out, they actually freeze the neck of the bottle and they break that off, and that gets rid of the lees, right? And once they've done that, then they add more wine to it, right? So you've just taken, you've had it fermenting for a really long time, and then now you've added some more to it. So, yeah, the vintage, they're not going to put a vintage on it if it's got many years of wine in it, right? Different things. All right.
I just want to add a little something to your thing here, Shawn.
Yeah.
Shawn touched on the glasses, guys, the flute. So the flute is actually the reason. So the reason you use that is to disperse the bubbles, right? Like he was talking about. And it also gives it a crisper taste. If you're going to use the other glass, which is, I believe the French called a coupe.
Yeah.
My grandparents called it a coupe. But what it is it disperses the bubbles more quickly and it softens the wine. So if you want your wine, like if you have a very dry champagne or sparkling wine and you want it to be a little softer, that's why you would use that glass. And they were used very heavily in the 1950s, and that's, I think a lot of it too is when America was really getting more into our sparkling wines here. So that's when it became notoriety there. But that's the glasses my grandparents used were the coupes. And so yeah, it does change the wine flavor though. So when he was giving you the tips on the different wine glasses, it really does change the flavor. It's amazing the difference when you use a red wine glass and you drink a red wine. But if you ever tried in a white wine glass, it does taste different. It just does. And it's the same with the champagne. If you want it to be a little sweeter and more fruit forward, you want to use the coupe. Otherwise, if you want the bubbles, the celebration, use the flute. But there you go. There's a little bit of information.
God, I love that. That's great. Yeah, that's wonderful to know, actually. So she was talking about glasses, right? So we talked about the flute and the coupe or coupe or
coupe. Yeah. I think the French pronounce the E on the end, the coupe, but I'm not French, so it's coupe. I don't know.
Awesome. So this is a white wine glass. And you're going to notice the difference between the red wine glass and the white wine glass. Red wine glass is a little bit bigger. It's got a bigger base bottom part to it. Still a little bit smaller at the top. So the white wine glass you don't need to worry too much about oxygenating most white wines, right? So you can use this type of glass. This one is going to give more surface area, is going to touch the wine, right? And it's gonna open up that wine. It's really gonna bring out the flavors in the wine. But at the top, it gets a little bit skinnier to hold those flavors in, right? Those aromas in there, right? But at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong glass. If you want to drink a red wine out of this one, you be my guest. It's all up to you how you do it.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit of history. Yeah, I'll go into history. So sparkling wine. There's a few different things going on here. They don't really know the exact date, right? It could have been the 1500s, could have been the 1600s. I think it was 1531, or 1662 or 1693, something like that. Those are kind of the three main stories of when sparkling wine actually became sparkling wine, right? They also don't know who actually invented sparkling wine. So if it was the English, right, from the UK, then it was probably 1531. And the reason they say that is because what happened, they say what happened is they were getting the grapes from Europe, and they were traveling by ship, right? They'd bring them across, and then they put them on a ship and they travel across the ocean, right? Well, what happened is this one time it got pretty warm. I think what happened is they still had some yeast going on in the bottles, and all of a sudden they thought they were hearing gunshots. Well, they weren't hearing gunshots. They were hearing bottles of wine popping open, right? And it was because of the pressure in the bottle from the yeast creating the bubbles, right? So that's one story. The other story is the story of Dom Perignon. I never can say his name right. It's a monk, Dom Perignon, I think it is. And
close enough, buddy.
Yeah, and it's a very expensive wine, but they're saying that possibly could have been the first champagne, right? And then there's another talk of like the Romans having it. So a lot of different history. Look up Dom Perignon and actually read how it worked. They thought he was blind when he took a taste. He said it had a fizzy taste to it, and what was the wording? I forget the wording he used, but something about seeing the stars in the sky, right? He called the bubbles the stars.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but they're not 100% sure if he actually was blind or not. Like there's a lot of who knows into it, but very cool history about sparkling wine. Now, sparkling wine came over to the US and I think it was in the I'm not going to get the date right, but it was the 1800s. And it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Same with like our, Napa Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnays and stuff. They're just absolutely booming. And honestly, Napa produces some of the best wines in the world now, which is awesome. I think that's all I got.
Wow.
Wow.
I love it.
That's
I love
not all I have. I could want to talk about this wine. Like I can go on, but
wow,
yeah, I think
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Y'all, he put that together.
That was
and
amazing,
like,
John.
wow.
And happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Happy,
I appreciate
happy
that.
birthday. And oh my, that was dynamite. And I know you have not you don't need a page on that, guys. Go listen to this. That you can write, you can spin pages off of many things with these nuggets that he just gave us. That is just phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And enjoy the rest of your day, Shawn.
I sure
with
will.
your family.
I sure will.
Happy birthday, my friend. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hope everybody has a good day.
I love listening to him talk about it because you guys, I told you he has a passion for wine like I do, and it comes through. I think it's hard. Wine is hard in soul. And so he shared that a lot. He was very much able to share all that, his feelings and his love for it. And that's how I feel about it as well. It was something that was made in my family as generation upon generation as well, our own table wine. And so I love that. And he has that love of it as well. So anyway, it's just really, really fun. Thank you so much. I tend to think that the first version that he mentioned with the coming across the seas, it was the shaking of it and the heat that kind of created those bubbles, and kind of, that's kind of what I think, but you know, what doesn't matter. I don't know what's right. We don't know. Everyone's going to claim it, right? But what I do know is that, like he mentioned, that Napa and Sonoma have amazing sparkling wines. And I think the only thing he didn't hit on is the reason that we don't call it champagne is because it has to be grown and made in the Champagne region of France. So if it's made there and grown there, that's when it's able to be called champagne. Otherwise, it's sparkling wine or Prosecco or anything else like that. That's what we call, that's why we don't refer to it as champagne. But it is definitely in the same quality, and it's the value of it is just as amazing. So yeah, I love it. And the one he was drinking was the one I was drinking at my kid's wedding. So it's just kind of fun to it and taste it. And we do have a new version of the sparkling wine coming out, I believe in July. Is that correct, Rory? If I remember correctly, I wasn't at the last tasting, you guys. I was with grandchildren. So, but is that right, Rory? July? Sorry?
It'll be a surprise when people get it. Just
okay. I guess you'll be surprised when you get it in your.
And I can't wait. I am just wait. It's going to be phenomenal. No, it is. It's going to be.
And we need to stock up on that one because it's our daughter's favorite. So all of our daughters love that one the most. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Get with the person that brought you back here. If you guys are new, become a member. If you're not ready to become a member, become a customer. Like Shawn said, just try it and see how you guys enjoy it. And join us as we do all of our pairings like this on Saturdays. As well as once a month, we'll have I like to call it a family wine tasting dinner. And that will be June 16th, I believe. It's a Thursday. And that is 5 Pacific time. That's Shawn's time, it's Pacific. 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. So mark your calendars for that. The wines that we'll be pairing, just if you guys want to taste along with us, will be the Ricord, the Antonio, and the Eddie there, the Nile Eddie. So those are the 3 we'll have. I might throw in a white as well in there, but we really wanted to focus more on the reds because it being Father's Day, and those are all fathers. So anyway, so thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thank you, Tanya.